Lila's reflection stared back at her from the bathroom mirror, but something was wrong. Her eyes, they weren't hers anymore. The warmth was gone, just cold, empty voids where life used to be. She touched her face, still warm, still breathing. But when she looked into those eyes, she didn't recognize the person staring back. Her phone buzzed. Text from Mom. "Sweetie, are you okay? You've been acting strange." Strange. That was the word everyone kept using. Her boyfriend said it yesterday before he stopped returning her calls. Her best friend said it last week before blocking her on everything. Even her dog wouldn't come near her anymore. But Lila didn't feel strange. She didn't feel anything. And that was the problem. But hey, real quick, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment telling me what horror topic you want next. Because what's about to happen to Lila, it's going to mess you up. The thing is, some monsters don't have fangs or claws. Some monsters look exactly like the people you love, and you don't realize it until it's way too late. It started on a Tuesday, not with a bang or a scream, but with silence. The kind that settles in your chest and refuses to leave. Lila woke up that morning and realized she couldn't remember the last time she'd cried. Couldn't remember the last time she'd laughed, either. Not the fake laugh she used at work or the polite chuckle she gave her mom on phone calls. Real laughter, the kind that made your stomach hurt. She sat up in bed, staring at the wall of her apartment. Her cat, Shadow, usually curled up next to her, had moved to the far corner of the room, watching her, the way you'd watch a stranger. Her phone lit up. 17 missed calls from her boyfriend, Jake. Ex-boyfriend, technically. They'd broken up 3 days ago and she'd felt nothing. He'd cried, begged her to explain what changed, said she'd become someone else. She just looked at him, watched tears stream down his face, and felt absolutely zero things about it. That should have scared her, should have made her feel guilty or sad or something. But there was just this vast, empty space where emotions used to live. Lila got ready for work on autopilot. Shower, coffee, the same gray sweater she'd worn for 4 days straight because picking out clothes felt like too much effort for something that didn't matter. Nothing mattered. That was the thing. When you couldn't feel anything, why bother pretending life had weight? The coffee shop where she worked was 15 minutes away. She'd been a barista there for 2 years. Used to love it, actually. The smell of espresso, the regular customers, the guy who always ordered an oat milk latte and left terrible dad jokes as tips. But walking in that morning, she felt like she was watching herself from outside her body, going through the motions, smiling at customers, making drinks, existing without actually being present. "You good?" her coworker Mia asked around noon. Mia had been her best friend since high school, used to be anyway. "Yeah," Lila said. "Why?" "You just seem off, I don't know." "Different?" There was that word again. Different. Lila forced a smile. She'd been practicing in the mirror, pulling her lips back, making her eyes crinkle at the corners. It looked right, but Mia didn't seem convinced. "I'm fine," Lila said. "Just tired." Mia nodded, but she took a step back. Subtle, like she was putting distance between them without wanting to be obvious about it. That's when Lila noticed Mia's eyes, really looked at them, and saw something that made her stomach drop, not from fear, because she couldn't feel fear anymore, but from recognition. They were empty, just like hers. "Mia," Lila said slowly. "When did it happen to you?" Mia's fake smile faltered. For a second, her face went completely blank. No expression, no pretense, just a mask falling away to reveal nothing underneath. "Last week," Mia said quietly. "Thursday night, I went to bed normal and woke up, not. Do you know what's causing it?" "No, but I've seen others. At the grocery store, at the gym, they have the same eyes, like someone turned off a light inside them." Lila leaned against the counter. The espresso machine hissed in the background. A customer walked in and both of them immediately snapped back into their customer service personas. Smiling, pleasant, completely hollow. After the customer left, Mia spoke again. At first, I thought I was going crazy or depressed. But depression feels like something, you know, sadness, heaviness. This is just absence. Have you told anyone? I tried telling my sister. She looked at me like I was broken, said I should see a therapist. But how do you explain to someone that you're not sad, you're not anything? That you're just going through life like a robot pretending to be human? Lila didn't have an answer, because that was exactly what she'd become. A thing wearing Lila's face, playing Lila's life, but fundamentally not Lila anymore. The rest of the shift passed in a blur. Lila went home, fed Shadow, who still wouldn't come near her, sat on her couch, stared at the wall. Her phone rang. Mom, she let it go to voicemail. Listen to the message later. Honey, I'm worried about you. You haven't been yourself lately. Please call me back. I love you. I love you. The words should have meant something, should have made her feel warm or guilty or obligated. But they were just sounds, vibrations in air that her brain processed as language without any emotional weight attached. Lila went to bed early, stared at the ceiling, thought about Jake crying, thought about Mia's dead eyes, thought about her mom's worried voice. Felt nothing. She fell asleep wondering if this was what death felt like. Not the body shutting down, but the soul checking out while everything else kept running. By Friday, Lila had counted 12 people with the dead eyes. 12 that she'd noticed anyway. Could be more. Probably were more. The guy at the gas station. The woman jogging past her apartment. Her downstairs neighbor. The kid who bagged groceries at Whole Foods. All of them moving through life with that same empty stare. That same practiced smile that didn't reach their eyes. She'd started paying attention, looking for the signs, the slightly delayed emotional responses, the way they tilted their heads when trying to remember how a normal person would react, the microsecond pause before forcing a laugh at a joke. It was spreading, whatever this was. Lila sat in a coffee shop, not the one where she worked, and watched people, trying to figure out who was real and who was pretending. It was harder than it should have been. The infected had gotten good at mimicking human behavior. A couple sat across from her. The woman was crying. The man held her hand, but his face was blank. No concern, no empathy. He was saying the right words. It'll be okay, I'm here for you. But there was nothing behind them. Just sounds his mouth made because that's what boyfriends were supposed to do when their girlfriends cried. The woman didn't notice, too caught up in her own pain to see that the person comforting her was hollow. Lila's phone buzzed. Text from Mia. We need to talk, not at work. Meet me at Lincoln Park. 9 p.m. Something about the message felt wrong. Too formal, too careful. But Lila went anyway. Because what else was she going to do? Feel afraid? She couldn't. The part of her brain that processed fear had gone dark along with everything else. Lincoln Park after dark was empty. Street lights cast long shadows across the grass. Mia stood by the fountain, hands in her pockets. There are more of us, Mia said as Lila approached. No greeting, no small talk. A lot more. We've been finding each other, recognizing the signs. How many? In this town, maybe 100, but I've been on forums, Reddit threads, people reporting the same thing from all over the country, waking up one day unable to feel, unable to connect. It's not just us, Lila. It's everywhere. What's causing it? No one knows. Some people think it's a virus. Others say it's psychological, mass hysteria or something. But here's what's interesting. Mia pulled out her phone, showed Lila a video. Watch this. The video showed a man in a lab coat, a doctor maybe. He was talking directly to the camera. If you're watching this, you're probably one of them. The hollow, we're calling it. Loss of affect, emotional flatness, inability to form connections or feel empathy. It's not a disease, it's not mental illness, it's evolution. Lila's stomach twisted, not with emotion but with something purely physical, instinct maybe. The doctor continued. Humans are weighed down by emotions. Fear holds us back. Love makes us vulnerable. Empathy clouds judgment. But what if we could exist without those limitations? What if we could be perfectly logical, perfectly efficient? This is insane, Lila said. Is it? Mia pocketed her phone. Think about it. Since this happened, have you had a single panic attack? Have you cried yourself to sleep? Have you made a decision based on emotions instead of logic? No, but we're better this way, Lila. Clearer, stronger. And soon everyone will be like us. The way Mia said it made Lila's skin crawl. There was something in her voice. Not emotion, but something else. Purpose, maybe. Conviction. You're talking about it like it's a good thing, Lila said slowly. Like you want this to spread. I'm saying maybe it's not something we should fight. People are losing their humanity. Or maybe they're gaining something better. Lila took a step back. Mia noticed. Her dead eyes tracked the movement. Others are meeting tomorrow night, Mia said. Warehouse on 5th Street, you should come. We're building something. A community of people who understand what we are, what we're becoming. I don't think. You don't think. That's the point. You don't feel, you don't think, you just exist. And that's okay. It's better than okay. It's freedom. Lila wanted to run. Would have run if her body still listened to instinct the way it used to. Instead, she just nodded. Said she'd think about it. Walked away at a normal pace while every rational part of her brain screamed that something was very, very wrong. She went home, locked the door, called her mom. Lila. Honey, I've been so worried. Mom, I need to tell you something. She explained everything, the emptiness, the dead eyes, the others. Her mom listened without interrupting. When Lila finished, there was a long silence. Baby, her mom said finally. I'm coming to get you, pack a bag, we're leaving town tonight. Mom, I don't think running. Your father had it too, Lila froze. What? 3 years before he died, he woke up one day and just stopped laughing, stopped caring, stopped being the man I married. The doctors couldn't figure it out, said it was depression, but antidepressants didn't help. Nothing helped. And then, her mom's voice cracked. Actually cracked. That meant she still felt things, still had emotions, still had a soul. Then what? Lila asked. Then he tried to make me like him, said it would be better, that we'd be better together if I just let go, let the emptiness in. I left him that night. He died 6 months later in a car accident. But I always wondered if, she didn't finish the sentence. Didn't have to. Pack a bag, her mom repeated. I'm on my way. But she wouldn't make it. Lila knew that now, because looking out her window she could see them. People gathering on her street, maybe 20, maybe more, all with those same dead eyes, all staring up at her apartment. And in the front, smiling that horrible empty smile, was Mia. Lila backed away from the window. Her phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. You can't run from what you are. Then another, join us. It's easier when you stop fighting. And another, we're not here to hurt you. We're here to help you accept. Her door handle rattled. Someone was trying to get in. The lock held, but for how long? Lila's mind raced. She couldn't feel panic, but her body remembered what to do. Fight or flight. And since fighting 20 people with dead eyes wasn't an option, that left flight. She grabbed her phone, charger, wallet, shoved them in her backpack. Shadow hissed from under the bed. She reached for him, but he swiped at her hand. Drew blood. Animals knew. They could sense when something wasn't human anymore. The door handle stopped rattling. Silence. That was worse somehow. Then she heard it, footsteps in the hallway, multiple sets. They weren't breaking in. They were waiting, surrounding the building, making sure she couldn't leave. Her phone rang. Mia. You're making this harder than it needs to be, Mia said when Lila answered. We just want to talk. By surrounding my apartment. By showing you that you're not alone. Look around, Lila. Half the town is like us now. Maybe more. This is happening whether you accept it or not. You can be part of something or you can be alone. Those are your options. What happens if I say no? Nothing will leave. You'll live your empty little life, going through motions, pretending to be human, until one day you realize how exhausting it is, how much easier it would be to just stop pretending. Lila looked at her reflection in the darkened TV screen. Dead eyes stared back. Mia was right about one thing: she was already hollow, already gone. The question was whether she'd admit it. "There's another option," Lila said quietly. "What's that?" "I find out what's really happening, what's causing this. And I stop it." Mia laughed, actually laughed. It sounded wrong coming from someone without emotions. "You think this is something you can cure? Lila, this isn't a disease, it's the next step. Evolution doesn't go backward." "Then why do you care if I join you or not? If it's inevitable, why chase me?" Silence. Long enough that Lila thought Mia had hung up. "Because," Mia finally said, "some part of me still remembers being your friend. And that part wants you to survive what's coming." "What's coming?" "They're going to notice eventually. The ones who still feel. They're going to realize we're not human anymore. Not really. And when they do, they'll try to eliminate us. But if we all stand together, if we show them that we're better." "You're talking about a war." "I'm talking about survival." The line went dead. Lila stood in her apartment, surrounded by the remnants of a life she no longer felt connected to. Photos on the wall of people she used to love, books she used to read, a guitar she used to play when emotions got too big to carry. All of it meaningless now. She should have felt sad about that. Should have felt something. But there was just the same vast emptiness that had been there when she woke up Tuesday morning. Her mom called. Lila sent it to voicemail, because what could she say? That she was already lost. That the thing her dad had died from was eating her from the inside out. Instead, she opened her laptop, started searching, Reddit forums, medical journals, news articles about unexplained emotional flatness, reports of people waking up changed. The pattern was there if you looked for it. Small towns reporting unusual behavior, therapists noting a spike in patients describing emotional numbness, doctors baffled by clusters of affect disorder with no clear cause. It had started 6 months ago, small at first, isolated cases, but the growth was exponential. One infected person would spread it to others, not through touch or blood, but through proximity, through conversation, through eye contact. It was in the way they looked at you, the way their dead eyes locked onto yours and something passed between you, a recognition, an infection of the soul. Lila had felt it that first day at the coffee shop, when Mia's eyes met hers and something clicked. A door opening in her mind that couldn't be closed. She'd infected others too, probably. The customer she'd stared at too long, the guy at the crosswalk, her neighbor who'd asked if she was okay, all of them exposed to whatever this was. A knock at her door, soft, almost gentle. "Lila." It was Mia's voice. "Your mom just pulled into the parking lot. You should know we're not going to hurt her, but we will talk to her, explain things. Give her the same choice we're giving you." Lila's blood ran cold. That was the one thing her body still did right, physical reactions even when emotional ones failed. She pulled up the security camera feed on her phone, saw her mom's car in the lot, saw people approaching it, surrounding it. Her mom got out, looked confused, then afraid, very afraid. "Let her go," Lila said through the door. "Come down and join us," Mia said. "Then we will." Lila had a choice. Stay in her apartment, let them take her mom, or go down there, face them, become one of them completely. She chose option 3. She climbed out her bathroom window, onto the fire escape, went up instead of down, crossed to the adjacent building's roof, kept moving. Her mom had taught her that when cornered, change the game. Behind her, she heard shouting. They'd realized she was gone, but she had a head start. Lila ran across rooftops, jumped gaps that would have terrified her before, felt nothing but the wind on her face and the rhythm of her footsteps. No fear, no adrenaline, just motion. She ran until she reached the edge of town, until the buildings gave way to trees, until she couldn't hear them following anymore. Then she stopped, pulled out her phone, called her mom. "Lila, oh my God, where are you? These people. Drive away, Mom, right now. Don't look back. I'm not leaving without you. You have to. This thing, whatever it is, it spreads, and I'm already infected if you stay near me. I don't care, you're my daughter. We'll figure this out together." Lila closed her eyes, tried to feel something. Love, gratitude, fear for her mother's safety. Anything, nothing came. "I can't feel you anymore, Mom," Lila said quietly. "I can't feel anything, and that's why you need to go. Because whatever I'm becoming, I don't want to make you into that too." Her mom was crying. Lila could hear it in her breathing, could imagine tears running down her face, could remember what that felt like from a time before Tuesday morning when the world still had color and weight and meaning. "Promise me you'll keep running," her mom said. "Promise me you'll find help." "I promise." It was a lie, because Lila didn't know if help existed, didn't know if this could be stopped or reversed or cured, didn't know anything except that she was hollow and the hollow were spreading, and eventually there'd be no one left who could still feel. She hung up, watched the parking lot through the trees, watched her mom's car pull away, watched the people with dead eyes let her go. Mia stood in the center of them, looking up at the rooftops. She knew Lila was watching, raised a hand, not a wave, a salute. "We'll see each other again," that gesture said, "and next time you won't run." Lila turned away, started walking, didn't know where, didn't matter. Because the thing about having dead eyes and a cold heart was that nowhere felt like home anymore. Every step took her farther from the life she used to have. Every breath reminded her that she was still human technically, biologically, but not in any way that actually mattered. She was empty, and the empty were hungry, not for food or blood or violence, for company, for others like them, for a world where no one had to pretend to feel anymore. And that was the most terrifying part. Deep down in whatever was left of her soul, Lila understood their appeal, understood why Mia had joined them, why her dad had tried to convert her mom, because feeling nothing was so much easier than feeling everything. The sun rose. Lila kept walking. Behind her, the town full of dead eyes went about their day, working, living, spreading. And ahead of her, somewhere in the vast unknown, maybe there was a cure, maybe there was hope, maybe there was a way to feel again, but probably not. Probably this was it, the slow extinction of human emotion, the end of empathy, the death of the soul while the body kept breathing. Lila's phone buzzed one last time. Text from Mia. "You can't run forever. Eventually, you'll realize you're already one of us. And when you do, we'll be waiting." Lila deleted the message, kept walking, into whatever came next. 3 weeks later, Lila sat in a diner in a town whose name she hadn't bothered to learn. Coffee had gone cold in front of her. She'd stopped tasting things around day 5. Food was just fuel now, nothing more. The news played on a TV mounted in the corner. Another report about the affect crisis sweeping the nation. Experts couldn't explain it. Therapists were overwhelmed. Hospitals had started opening special wings for people who'd lost the ability to feel. But the thing was, most of the infected never sought help. Why would they? You can't miss something you can't remember feeling. Lila had tried, really tried. She'd found a research facility 2 states over. Let them run tests, MRIs, blood work, psychological evaluations. They'd found nothing. Her brain was structurally normal, her hormones balanced. By every measurable standard, she should have been fine. But the light in her eyes was gone, and no test could measure that. She'd met others like her in the waiting room. An old man who said he'd stopped loving his wife. A teenage girl who couldn't cry at her brother's funeral. A middle-aged woman who'd quit her job as a kindergarten teacher because being around children's emotions felt like watching a foreign film without subtitles. None of them wanted to be cured. They'd come because family members forced them, because society said something was wrong. But sitting in that waiting room, Lila had realized they were all just going through the motions, pretending to want help to make others feel better. The research facility had nothing to offer anyway. No cure, no treatment, just pamphlets about managing emotional absence and support groups for families dealing with affected loved ones. Lila had left, started driving. No destination, no plan, just movement for the sake of moving. Her phone had died a week ago. She hadn't charged it, didn't want to see the messages from her mom, the voicemails, the texts asking if she was okay, if she'd found help, if she was coming home. Home. The word had lost meaning along with everything else. Now she sat in this diner, watching the world through glass. The waitress refilling coffee for crying customers. The couple arguing in the corner booth. The kid throwing a tantrum because his pancakes weren't shaped like Mickey Mouse. All that emotion, all that feeling. It used to be her, used to be everyone, but she could see them now. The others with dead eyes, the trucker in the back booth, the woman at the counter, the cook visible through the kitchen window, all hollow, all pretending. All part of whatever this was that had started spreading 6 months ago and wouldn't stop. Maybe Mia had been right. Maybe this was evolution. The next step. Humanity shedding the weight of feeling to become something more efficient, more logical, more empty. Or maybe it was the end, not with fire or war, but with silence. With the slow extinction of everything that made us human while our bodies kept going through the motions. Lila paid her bill with money she didn't care about, walked out into sunlight she couldn't enjoy, got in her car that would take her nowhere that mattered, and kept driving. Because when you can't feel anything, stopping meant admitting there was nothing left to feel for. And some part of her, the part that still remembered Tuesday morning before the emptiness came, refused to admit that. Not yet. Maybe not ever. She drove into the sunset. Dead eyes, cold heart, empty soul, still human, technically. But for how much longer, nobody knew. So here's the question that keeps me up at night. What if you woke up tomorrow and couldn't feel anything? Not sad, not happy, not scared, just nothing. Would you fight it, or would you accept it? And here's the scarier question. How would you even know if it was happening? If the change was gradual enough, would you notice yourself becoming hollow? Or would you just wake up one day, look in the mirror, and not recognize the person staring back? That's what this story is really about. Not monsters or zombies or demons. Just the slow, quiet horror of losing yourself piece by piece until there's nothing left but a shell going through the motions. If that messed with your head even a little bit, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment telling me what horror topic you want next. Psychological thrillers, body horror, cosmic dread. I'm here for all of it. And hey, if you're reading this and you actually felt something during Lila's story, fear, sadness, empathy, anything, hold on to that. Because in a world that keeps pushing us to be numb, to disconnect, to stop feeling so much, maybe feeling everything is the most human thing we can do. This is Shadowverse. Stay human out there, or don't. That's kind of the whole point, isn't it?